Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a brand new video and we are going to be talking about rugby trials and the mistakes that are most commonly seen by players. Now I just wanted to make this video because obviously I made the video a few days back now about my most useful tips for people going on rugby trials, but I also thought it would be important just to highlight some of the mistakes that people make, just so that when you show up to your rugby trial you're not making the same mistakes and you don't get caught out by something really small and silly that could be easily avoided. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. I've got a list here of some of the things that I think are really important just to be aware of and make sure that you're not doing at a rugby trial. So let's get into it. The first one is overlooking the basics. Now, when you go to a rugby trial or you're looking to get selected, the first thing that the coaches are going to be looking at and building a baseline off is your basic skills. Now, if you're not able to perform and execute these to the highest level you can on the day, then you're automatically going to be putting yourself at a disadvantage. Now, I'm not saying that you've got to have the absolute best day of rugby that you've ever had in your life by any means, but if you're going out there and you're not thinking and having the thought in the back of your mind that you need to execute the basics well, then you're going to be in a bit of a situation, because if you're overlooking these things and looking to, do too much on the field, you're doing all this extravagant, fancy stuff that, by all means is great, but it's not something that you're necessarily going to be doing in a high intensity game or, a really crucial match. You're not going to be doing those skills there, so you don't need to be doing them here at a trial. Your job needs to be looking to do the simple things really well and to the best of your ability, so that it portrays your skills to the coaches in the best way possible. Now, most importantly, I think you need to be looking at your passing, making sure that you're confident of both hands, tip passes, long range passes, pulling out the back. Those are probably the three main things I'd say is important for your passing, making sure that you could do those with your eyes closed on a really bad day. If you can do those well, then that's half the job. And then I'd say the other thing is tackling, being able to get low, dropping your body height and being able to execute, get a good wrap around the opposition and being able to bring them to the floor with good intent is really important. And if you can show that intent to the coaches, it's going to be amazing. So yes guys, really nail down on the basics and never ever overlook them, because they are the core foundation and the building blocks to your whole skill set, and you need the coaches to recognize that you've got those nailed down. Moving on to the next thing, and that is having poor preparation in terms of your fitness. Now, fitness is really crucial as well. I guarantee you at every rugby trial or session that you have, your fitness is going to be assessed in one way or another. And let me tell you personally, the feeling of, being left behind in the pack, let's say you're doing some high intensity running and, you're a few laps behind, it's not a good feeling, because once everyone else finishes, you're just going to be left there running and you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And not only is that not going to look good for the coaches and, your overall kind of ability, it's going to be really bad for your mental, and your confidence is going to go down the drain. So save yourself the embarrassment, go out a month, even a few weeks before your trial, and just get out there, get the body moving and increase your fitness and increase your cardiovascular endurance, because it's going to do you a world of favors when it comes to going to a rugby trial. The next thing I have wrote down on my list is arriving late and being unprepared. Now, I couldn't think of a worst possible start than arriving to a rugby trial and being told to be there at a certain time and you rock up half an hour, 1 hour late, or maybe even you don't even show up because you didn't set your alarm or you got the dates mixed up. Be prepared, guys. Make sure you have written down somewhere the date of your trial and the time that it starts, and even the time that you're expected to be there, and make sure you show up well within time. It's better that you show up 10-15 minutes earlier than 10-15 minutes late. You don't want to feel rushed once you get there. You want to be nice, calm and collective, because you're probably already nervous as it is. That's quite normal and natural with any kind of team sport or sports in general. It's really easy to get nervous, especially when you feel like there's a bit of pressure on you, because you want to do well, and that's good because it shows that you care. But you want to be able to put the preparation in to make sure that all the boxes are ticked off. Another thing I put down is being unprepared. So by this I mean making sure that your kit bag is fully prepped, you have all the things you need. If you need extra water, make sure you bring it with you. If there's any supplements that you take, it could be pre-workout, you could be having some energy gels or any certain piece of food that you like to have before a session or a game, make sure you have that in your bag as well. And even the little things, don't be that guy who, you know, has everything in his bag but he forgets his gum shield, for example, or even your boots. Those are probably the most important things you're going to need for a rugby trial. And if you don't have those, it's going to be really hard for you to, you know, go out there and play with your full 100%, having confidence in your equipment and your gear. So make sure that you don't put yourself in that situation, and give yourself the best chance of getting selected by making sure you show up prepared and with plenty of time to spare, and that you're not showing up late. And then the last thing I have on my list, and I would say is one of the most important things, is staying humble. Now, no one likes to see a cocky rugby player either on their team or even the opposition. It just winds up everyone, and you don't want to be that guy who gets on the wrong side of the fellow people who you're doing the trial with, or potentially your teammates as well. You want to be, in my opinion, you want to be as humble as you can. You know, recognize and acknowledge the good things that other people do around you. Don't stay smug and, you know, don't feel jealous in any way. You should be uplifting each other. It's a team sport, and if you're able to do that, the coaches are going to be much more pleased with that, rather than, you know, a cocky, smug player who already thinks they deserve to be on the team without actually putting in any effort or showing it. This probably applies to people who, you know, let's say you're retrialing for the team who you already played for, or, you know, you've played at a high level before and you think you've already got the skills. By all means, show that through your rugby, not by what you say and what comes out your mouth. I think it's really important that, you know, you keep a calm, level head and approach this trial like it's a completely new thing. And by staying humble, staying grounded, it allows you to focus more on the rugby rather than anything else. And I think that's really important, guys, because at the end of the day, you're going to this trial to do a job. You want to play your rugby, you want to play your game to the highest standard you can to give yourself the best possible chance of getting picked up by a high-level team. So with that being said, guys, I hope you find these pieces of insight useful. I know that some of these things may be new to you, like you wouldn't have even thought about it, but just keep them in mind if you do have a trial coming up, and I hope that you can keep these things in mind so you don't make any mistakes that I've listed today in your future rugby trial or selection. So guys, I'd just like to thank you guys for watching this whole video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.